Hello everyone. Welcome back to our channel for another exciting episode of English Learning with Podcast. I'm your host Alex, and I'm thrilled to be here with all of you today alongside my wonderful co-host Alina. How are you doing, Alina?
Hi Alex. Hi everyone. I'm feeling fantastic, and I hope all of you are having a wonderful day too. Today we have an incredibly fun and practical topic lined up for you all: shopping in English, phrases and vocabulary. Shopping is something we all do regularly, and it's essential to know the right words and expressions to make our shopping experiences smooth and enjoyable.
That's absolutely right, Alina. Whether you are going to a mall, shopping online, or just looking around, understanding the right English vocabulary will help you communicate effectively and avoid any misunderstandings. We want to ensure that our audience feels confident and ready for any shopping scenario.
Exactly, Alex. Think about it. Whether you are traveling to an English-speaking country, moving abroad, or even just interacting with tourists in your own country, knowing how to ask for the right size, inquire about prices, or request assistance from store employees can be really helpful. It's all about making your shopping experience stress-free and enjoyable.
Absolutely, Alina. In today's session, we'll cover everything from basic vocabulary to useful shopping phrases, and we'll even have a quiz later to test your knowledge. So, whether you're a beginner or someone looking to brush up on your skills, this episode is going to be packed with valuable insights.
That's right. And don't worry if you're new to learning English. We will break everything down in a simple and engaging way. Plus, you can always replay this episode, take notes, and practice at your own pace. We're here to support you every step of the way.
Perfect. So grab a notebook, sit back, and get ready to learn some essential shopping phrases that will make your next trip to the store a lot easier. Are you ready, Alina?
I'm ready, Alex, and I hope our audience is ready too. Let's get started.
Part 1. Basic shopping vocabulary.
So Alina, let's dive into some essential shopping vocabulary that our audience needs to know. When you think about shopping, what are some basic words that come to mind?
Well, Alex, one of the first words that comes to mind is store or shop. These words refer to the place where we buy things, whether it's clothing, groceries, or electronics. Another important word is customer, which refers to the person who is shopping.
Great point, Alina. And when you're inside a store, you'll often interact with a cashier, the person who helps you pay for your items at the checkout counter. Speaking of checkout, another useful term is receipt. A receipt is the proof of your purchase, and it's essential if you need to return or exchange an item later.
Exactly, Alex. And speaking of returning items, the words refund and exchange are crucial. If an item doesn't meet your expectations, you can ask for a refund to get your money back, or you can request an exchange to get a different item instead.
Absolutely. And let's not forget the term discount. A discount is when the store reduces the price of an item, making it cheaper for customers. Many stores have sales during holidays or special promotions where you can find great discounts.
That's right, Alex. And when you see something you really like but aren't sure about buying it right away, you might just do some window shopping. This means you're browsing through the store, looking at items without the intention of buying anything immediately.
Oh, I love window shopping. It's a great way to stay updated on the latest trends without spending money. Another useful term is bargaining, which is common in street markets or small shops. Bargaining means negotiating the price to get a better deal.
That's a great one, Alex. Bargaining can be fun and rewarding if you do it politely and with a smile. Another important phrase related to shopping is price tag, which shows the cost of an item. Always check the price tag before heading to the cashier to avoid surprises.
Excellent advice, Alina. And when you finally decide to buy something, you may need to know the difference between cash and card. Some stores accept only cash, while others allow you to pay with a debit or credit card.
That's a good point, Alex. And let's not forget phrases like, "Can I try this on?" which is useful when shopping for clothes. Trying on clothes before buying ensures they fit well and look good on you.
Definitely, Alina. And one last thing. When you're shopping in a foreign country, knowing how to say, "How much does this cost?" can be very useful when asking about prices.
Absolutely. Knowing these basic words and phrases will make your shopping experience smoother and more enjoyable. Let's move on to some common shopping scenarios next.
Ready to move to part 2.
Part 2. At a clothing store.
So, Alina, let's imagine we're walking into a clothing store. What's the first thing you would do?
Well, Alex, the first thing I usually do is look around to see what catches my eye. But if I'm looking for something specific, I would ask a salesperson, "Excuse me, where can I find the women's jackets?" It's always a good idea to ask for help if you need it.
That's a great tip. And once you find the section you're looking for, you might want to check the sizes. You could ask, "Do you have this in a medium?" Or "What sizes are available?" It's important to find the right fit.
Absolutely, Alex. Another useful phrase is, "Can I try this on?" Most stores have fitting rooms where you can try on clothes to see if they fit well. It's always better to try things before buying, to avoid any disappointment later.
Good point, Alina. And once you're in the fitting room, if something doesn't fit quite right, you can step out and ask, "Do you have this in a larger size?" Or "Can I get this in a different color?" Stores often have a variety of options.
Exactly. And when you finally decided on what you want to buy, you should head to the cashier. You can ask, "Where is the checkout counter?" Or "Do you accept credit cards?" It's always good to know the available payment methods before making a purchase.
That's right, Alina. And sometimes if you're unsure about the price, you might say, "Is this item on sale?" Many stores have discounts, and it never hurts to check.
That's true, Alex. And let's not forget about asking for a receipt. You should always ask, "Can I get a receipt, please?" A receipt is important in case you want to return or exchange the item later.
Yes. And speaking of returns, if you change your mind about something after you've bought it, you can say, "What is your return policy?" Some stores have strict policies, so it's always best to ask in advance.
Great advice, Alex. And don't forget to be polite when asking questions. A simple "excuse me" and "thank you" can go a long way in making your shopping experience pleasant.
Absolutely, Alina. Shopping should be fun and stress-free, and using the right phrases can make it so much easier. Now that we've covered clothing stores, let's move on to our next topic about grocery shopping.
Part 3. Grocery shopping.
Grocery shopping is something we all do regularly, isn't it, Alina? Whether we're buying fresh produce, snacks, or household essentials, there are so many useful phrases that can make our experience easier.
Absolutely, Alex. When I walk into a supermarket, the first thing I like to do is grab a shopping cart or a basket. If you're not sure where they are, you can ask, "Excuse me, where can I find a shopping cart?" Or, "Do you have a basket I can use?"
Good point, Alina. Once you have your cart or basket, it's time to start looking for items. A useful question to ask is, "Where can I find the dairy section?" Or, "Which aisle has the pasta?" Supermarkets can be huge, and asking for directions can save you a lot of time.
That's right, Alex. And sometimes, when you're looking for something specific, you might ask, "Do you have organic fruits?" Or, "Can you recommend a good brand of olive oil?" The staff are usually happy to help you find the best options.
Definitely. When you're picking out fruits and vegetables, it's important to check their quality. You can ask, "Is this apple fresh?" Or, "How can I tell if this melon is ripe?" Store employees can often provide great advice on selecting the best produce.
Great tips, Alex. And what about checking prices? If you're unsure about the cost, you can say, "How much does this cost?" Or, "Is this item on sale?" Sometimes, prices aren't clearly marked, so it's good to ask.
That's a very useful tip, Alina. Also, when you're at the deli or butcher counter, you can ask, "Can I have 500 grams of chicken breast, please?" Or, "Could you slice this cheese for me?" Being specific helps you get exactly what you need.
Exactly, Alex. And another useful phrase is when you're in a hurry and need assistance. You can say, "Can you help me find the frozen foods section?" Or, "I'm looking for gluten-free products. Do you carry any?" It's always good to ask for help rather than searching endlessly.
Very true, Alina. And when you're ready to check out, you might need to ask, "Where is the express checkout?" Or, "Do you accept credit cards?" Knowing your payment options can save you from surprises at the register.
And speaking of payments, sometimes stores have self-checkout machines. You can ask, "How do I use the self-checkout?" Or, can I get assistance with the self-checkout, please? It's a great way to speed things up if you have fewer items.
That's right, Alina. And finally, once you've paid for your groceries, it's polite to say thank you. Have a great day to the cashier. It's always nice to end your shopping experience on a positive note.
Absolutely, Alex. Grocery shopping doesn't have to be stressful. With these useful phrases and a little planning, you can make your trip smooth and efficient. Next up, let's talk about something equally important about shopping online.
Part 4. Online shopping.
Alina, online shopping has become such a huge part of our lives, hasn't it? It's so convenient to browse through products from the comfort of your own home. What do you usually look for when shopping online?
Absolutely, Alex. I usually look for clothing, electronics, and sometimes even groceries. The first thing I do is search for the product I need by typing keywords into the search bar. For example, if I'm looking for a new pair of running shoes, I'd type women's running shoes and then browse through the results.
That's a great tip. And once you find something interesting, it's important to check the product details carefully. Things like size, color options, and materials are crucial. I always read the product description thoroughly to make sure it meets my needs.
Exactly, Alex. And one thing I never forget is to check customer reviews. They give you real insights from other buyers about the quality and reliability of the product. I look for reviews with photos because they provide a better idea of what the product actually looks like.
That's a smart move, Alina. Another important aspect is comparing prices across different websites. Sometimes, the same product is available at a lower price on another platform. It's always a good idea to do a little research before making a purchase.
Yes, and speaking of making a purchase, I always check the return policy before buying anything. Some websites offer free returns, while others might have strict policies. You don't want to end up stuck with something that doesn't fit or work for you.
Very true. And when you're ready to check out, you should be cautious with payment options. Many websites accept credit cards, debit cards, and even digital wallets like PayPal. But it's important to make sure the website is secure before entering your payment details.
Absolutely. Look for the padlock symbol in the address bar, which indicates a secure website. Also, using strong passwords and avoiding public Wi-Fi when making payments are good practices to stay safe online.
Great advice, Alina. And once you've completed your purchase, tracking your order is crucial. Many online stores provide tracking numbers so you can monitor your package and know exactly when it will arrive.
Yes, and when the package finally arrives, I always inspect it right away. If there's any issue, I contact customer service immediately and request a replacement or refund. Most websites have a customer support team ready to assist.
That's a good habit. And don't forget to leave a review after receiving your product. It helps other customers and also allows you to share your experience with the seller.
Definitely, Alex. Online shopping can be a fantastic experience if done correctly. With the right tips and a cautious approach, you can find great deals and avoid common pitfalls. Speaking of which, let's move on to our next part.
Part 5. Asking for help in a store.
Alina, have you ever walked into a store and felt completely overwhelmed, not knowing where to find what you need?
Oh, absolutely, Alex. It happens to me all the time, especially in large department stores or supermarkets. That's why knowing how to ask for help in English is so important. One of the most common phrases I use is, "Excuse me, can you help me find this item?" It's polite and straight to the point.
That's a great phrase to remember. Another useful one is, "Where can I find toothpaste?" For example, if you're looking for toothpaste, you could ask, "Where can I find the toothpaste section?" It's a simple way to get directions within the store.
Exactly. And if you're looking for a specific brand or style, you can say, "Do you carry this brand?" Or "Do you have this in a different size or color?" This is especially useful when shopping for clothes or electronics.
Good point, Alina. And if you're not sure whether a store even sells a particular item, you can always ask,
Do you sell toothbrush here?
That way, you won't waste time searching if it's not available.
That's right, Alex. And let's not forget about asking for prices. If an item doesn't have a visible price tag, you can ask, "How much does this cost?" Or, "Can you tell me the price of this item?" It's a good way to avoid surprises at the checkout.
Definitely. Another common situation is when you're in a hurry and need assistance quickly. You might say, "Is there someone who can help me?" Or, "Can I speak to a store assistant?" This will help you get prompt service when needed.
And speaking of assistance, sometimes we need to ask about store policies. For example, if you're unsure about returning an item, you can ask, "What is your return policy?" Or, "Do you offer exchanges?" Knowing this in advance can save a lot of trouble later.
That's a very practical tip, Alina. And sometimes stores have loyalty programs or discounts. You can ask, "Do you have any ongoing promotions?" Or, "Do you offer a loyalty program?" This can help you save money while shopping.
Absolutely, Alex. And let's not forget one of the most important things, asking for directions within a store. If you're looking for a specific section, you can ask, "Can you point me to the electronics department?" Or, "Where is the fitting room?"
Those are all very useful phrases, Alina. Shopping becomes so much easier when you know how to ask the right questions. And with that, let's move on to our next section about common shopping problems.
Part 6. Dealing with common shopping problems and solutions.
Shopping is usually a fun experience, but sometimes things don't go as planned. Have you ever faced any common shopping problems, Alina?
Oh, absolutely, Alex. One of the most common issues I've faced is buying something online and receiving the wrong item. It's so frustrating when you expect one thing but get something completely different.
I can imagine. In such cases, it's important to contact customer service right away. You can say, "I received the wrong item. Could you please help me with a return or exchange?" Most companies are happy to assist if you explain the issue politely.
That's a great tip, Alex. Another issue I've encountered is items being out of stock. You go to a store looking for something specific, and it's not available. I usually ask, "When will this item be back in stock?" Or, "Can I place an order for it?" Some stores even offer to notify you when the product is available.
Exactly, Alina. And sometimes, even when the item is available, the price at the checkout may be different from what was advertised. If that happens, you can say, "I believe this item was marked at a lower price. Can you please check?" It's always good to double check and clarify any price discrepancies.
That's so true, Alex. Another frustrating issue is dealing with defective or damaged items. If you find that something you purchased is broken, you can say, "I bought this item recently, and it's defective. Can I get a replacement or refund?" Keeping the receipt makes the process much smoother.
Good point, Alina. And what about long lines at the checkout? I've been in situations where I've had to wait forever. In those cases, I usually ask, "Is there a self-checkout option? Or do you have any express lanes?" It can save a lot of time, especially during busy hours.
Yes, long lines can be really annoying. And sometimes when making a purchase, my card gets declined even though I know I have enough balance. If that happens, I calmly say, "Could you please try again?" Or, "Is there an issue with your card reader?" Staying calm and polite helps resolve the issue quickly.
Definitely, Alina. Lastly, another issue I've faced is returning an item after the return period has expired. It's always worth asking, "Is there any way I can return this even though the return period has ended?" Some stores offer exceptions if you explain your situation.
That's a good idea, Alex. The key takeaway here is to always remain polite and clear when dealing with shopping problems. Most store employees are willing to help if you communicate effectively.
Absolutely, Alina. Handling shopping problems with the right phrases can make things much easier. Now that we've covered this, let's move on to our next section.
Part 7. Returning and exchanging items.
Alina, have you ever bought something, taken it home, and realized it wasn't quite what you expected?
Oh, absolutely, Alex. Sometimes the color looks different in the store lighting, or the size isn't quite right. That's why it's so important to know how to return or exchange an item if needed. The first thing I usually ask is, "What is your return policy?" Different stores have different rules, and it's always good to check before making a purchase.
That's a great point, Alina. Some stores offer full refunds within a certain period, while others might only allow exchanges or store credit. It's important to clarify whether you need the original receipt and if the item must be in its original condition. Asking something like, "Do I need the packaging and tags to return this?" can save a lot of hassle.
Exactly, Alex. And when you're ready to return an item, it's polite to start with, "Hi, I'd like to return this item, please." If you're exchanging, you can say, "I'd like to exchange this for a different size, color." Being polite and clear makes the process smoother for both you and the store staff.
Right, Alina? And if you don't have a receipt, some stores might still accept the return, but offer store credit instead of a refund. In that case, you can ask, "Can I return this without a receipt?" It's always good to check what your options are.
Good point, Alex. Some stores also have a restocking fee, especially for electronics or large items. You might want to ask, is there a restocking fee for this return? So you're not caught off guard when you get your refund.
Absolutely, Alina. And sometimes stores have a time limit for returns, like 14 days or 30 days. So it's smart to ask, how many days do I have to return this? That way you don't miss the window for returning or exchanging an item.
That's right, Alex. And if you bought something online, the return process might be different. You should ask, can I return online purchases in store? Some online purchases require you to ship the item back, and it's good to know the process.
Excellent advice, Alina. And one more thing. If the item is damaged or defective, you can say, "This item is defective, can I get a replacement?" Stores usually handle defective items differently, so it's important to let them know the issue.
Absolutely, Alex. Returns and exchanges don't have to be stressful if you know the right questions to ask and stay organized. All right, now that we've covered this, let's move on to our next section about bargaining and negotiating.
Part 8. Bargaining and negotiating prices.
Alina, have you ever been to a market where bargaining is a common practice?
Oh, absolutely, Alex. Bargaining is such an exciting experience, and it's a great way to get the best deals. In many countries, especially at local markets or street stalls, negotiating prices is expected. Do you have any favorite bargaining tips?
Definitely, Alina. One of the most important things is to start by asking, is this your best price? This simple question shows that you're interested but not ready to accept the first price given. It opens the door for negotiation.
That's a great strategy, Alex. Another useful phrase is, can you give me a discount? Sellers often expect customers to ask for a better price, and they might reduce it if you ask politely and confidently.
Absolutely, Alina. And if you're buying multiple items, you can say, if I buy more, can I get a better deal? Bulk buying often gives you more bargaining power, and sellers are usually willing to offer discounts when you purchase more than one item.
That's a smart approach, Alex. Another important thing is to stay calm and friendly during the negotiation. Saying something like, I really like this, but it's a little out of my budget. Can you lower the price? Can encourage the seller to meet you halfway.
Exactly, Alina. And sometimes walking away can be a powerful tactic. If the price isn't right, you can politely say, I'll think about it and come back later. Many times, the seller will call you back with a better offer.
Yes, that works like a charm. And if you do decide to leave, it's good to know alternatives. You could ask, do you know another shop that sells this? Sometimes nearby shops have similar items at better prices.
That's a great tip, Alina. And when you finally agree on a price, it's important to say thank you. I appreciate the deal. A little gratitude can go a long way in building good relationships with sellers.
So true, Alex. And let's not forget to be mindful of cultural differences. In some places, bargaining is expected, while in others, it might not be appropriate. Asking politely, is bargaining allowed here, can help you avoid awkward situations.
Great point, Alina. And remember, bargaining should always be fun and respectful. It's not about getting the lowest price possible, but finding a fair deal that works for both you and the seller.
Absolutely, Alex. Bargaining is an art that takes practice, but with the right phrases and attitude, it can be a rewarding experience. Up next, let's move on to our next section.
Part 9. Online shopping tips and tricks.
Alina, online shopping has become a huge part of our daily lives, hasn't it? It's so convenient to buy almost anything from the comfort of our own homes.
Absolutely, Alex. Online shopping saves time and often money too. But it's important to know how to shop smartly and safely online. For example, I always start by checking the website's credibility before making a purchase.
That's a great point, Alina. One of the easiest ways to check credibility is by looking for reviews and ratings. You should always read customer reviews to see if the product is worth buying. Sometimes, the pictures look perfect, but the real product might not match expectations.
Exactly, Alex. And another useful tip is to compare prices across different websites. Just because an item looks like a great deal on one site doesn't mean you can't find it cheaper somewhere else. Price comparison websites and browser extensions can help with that.
That's a smart approach, Alina. And let's not forget about discount codes and coupons. Many online stores offer promotional discounts that you can find by searching online or signing up for their newsletters. You can save a lot with just a little effort.
Yes, Alex. But while we're searching for discounts, we should always be cautious about scams. If a deal looks too good to be true, it probably is. Always stick to trusted retailers and avoid websites that don't provide clear contact information or have suspicious payment methods.
Absolutely, Alina. And speaking of payments, it's always a good idea to use secure payment methods, like credit cards or PayPal. These payment options offer buyer protection, which means if something goes wrong, you can get your money back.
Right, Alex? And one more thing, delivery times and return policies are crucial to check before buying. Some websites may have long shipping times, especially for international orders, and return policies can vary widely. You don't want to be stuck with something you can't return.
That's so true, Alina. I always check if the website offers free returns or exchanges. It makes the whole process easier if the product doesn't meet my expectations.
Good point, Alex. Another tip I'd recommend is to avoid shopping on public Wi-Fi networks. Using unsecured Wi-Fi can put your personal information at risk. It's always safer to shop using a private and secure connection.
That's a crucial tip, Alina. Lastly, organizing your online purchases is important too. Keep track of your order confirmations and receipts so you can follow up if needed. Many websites provide tracking options to monitor your deliveries.
Absolutely, Alex. With these tips, online shopping can be safe, convenient, and enjoyable. Now that we've covered online shopping, let's move on to the exciting quiz segment for our audience.
Part 10. This is quiz time.
Welcome to the final part of our shopping series, everyone. It's time to put your knowledge to the test with a fun and engaging quiz. Are you ready, Alina?
Absolutely, Alex. I'm so excited to see how much our audience has learned throughout our sessions. We've covered so many useful shopping phrases and vocabulary. This quiz will be a great way to check their understanding.
That's right, Alina. And remember, everyone, this is just for fun, so don't stress. Feel free to write your answers in the comment box below. Let's start with the first question.
Great. Here we go. What do you say when you want to know the price of an item? Is it A, where's the checkout counter? B, how much does this cost? C, do you accept credit cards?
That's a good one, Alina. Okay, audience, think carefully and write your answer in the comments. Now for question number 2. If you want to return an item, what should you ask at the store? Is it A, can I get a receipt? B, what is your return policy? C, is this on sale?
That's a very important question, Alex. Knowing store policies can save you a lot of trouble. Now let's move on to our third question. What's a common phrase you can use to ask for a different clothing size? Is it A, do you have this in a larger size? B, can I pay with cash? C, where is the dressing room?
Oh, that's a useful one, Alina. I hope our audience is doing well so far. Here comes question number 4. What should you say if you're just looking around a store without planning to buy anything right away? Is it A, I'm just browsing, thanks? B, I need a receipt. C, can I try this on?
That's a great scenario, Alex. Sometimes we're just checking things out without making a purchase. And finally, our last question. If you want to know if an item is at a reduced price, what should you ask? Is it A, is this on sale? B, can I get a refund? C, what is your return policy?
Fantastic, Alina. That wraps up our quiz. We can't wait to see everyone's answers in the comments. Don't forget to review previous parts if you're unsure about any of these questions.
Yes, and let us know in the comments how many questions you got right. We hope this quiz helps reinforce everything you've learned about shopping vocabulary and phrases.
Okay, let's move on to the final part of this episode.
Part 11. Shopping etiquette and conclusion.
Well, Alina, we've covered so many aspects of shopping today. from vocabulary to practical situations, but there's one more important topic we need to discuss: shopping etiquette. Shopping etiquette refers to the polite and respectful behavior we should follow while shopping. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely, Alex. Shopping isn't just about buying things, it's also about being considerate to store employees and other shoppers. One key rule is to always be patient, especially when stores are busy. Pushing or cutting in line is never acceptable.
That's right, Alina. Patience is key. And speaking of being considerate, it's important to handle items with care. Whether you're trying on clothes or examining products, always put things back where you found them if you decide not to buy them. It helps store staff and keeps the store tidy for others.
Exactly, Alex. And another important point is respecting personal space. When shopping, we should give other shoppers enough room to browse comfortably without feeling crowded. Nobody likes it when someone stands too close, especially in the checkout line.
That's so true, Alina. Another shopping etiquette tip is to be mindful of noise levels. Whether you're talking on the phone or chatting with friends, try to keep your voice down so as not to disturb other customers. A pleasant shopping environment is better for everyone.
I completely agree, Alex. Also, if you're shopping in a store with a fitting room, it's polite to limit the number of items you take in at one time and to return the items properly if they don't fit. Keeping the fitting room area neat helps the staff and other shoppers too.
That's a great point, Alina. Another crucial part of shopping etiquette is dealing with store employees politely. Whether you're asking for assistance or returning an item, using phrases like "excuse me," "please," and "thank you" can go a long way in creating a positive interaction.
Absolutely. And one more tip: when shopping during busy seasons like holidays or sales events, try to be understanding. Store employees are often under a lot of pressure, so a little kindness and patience can make their day much better.
That's a great reminder, Alina. And let's not forget online shopping etiquette. If you have questions about a product, make sure to read the description carefully before reaching out to customer service. And always leave honest and respectful reviews.
That's a great point, Alex. Whether shopping in store or online, good manners make a difference. So, as we wrap up, let's remind our audience that shopping should always be a pleasant and respectful experience for everyone involved.
Well said, Alina. We hope today's episode has been helpful for our audience. Whether it's learning new phrases or understanding etiquette, shopping can be fun and stress-free when you know what to do.
Yes, Alex. And to all our listeners, thank you for joining us today. Don't forget to practice what you've learned and share your thoughts or questions in the comments section.
That's right. Keep practicing, stay polite, and enjoy your shopping experiences. Until next time, happy shopping, everyone.
Goodbye, everyone. Stay safe and shop smart.